I sit down here and I'm laughing that Nigerians don't know that they are playing a script by the Tinubu's government. You are playing a script by the Tinubu's government. Now, there's no position whatsoever. It is what the government determines that becomes the story, that becomes the news. It is what the government determines that becomes the news. After a day election, we are now talking about Bobrisky, very dark man. Even he had to even get to the House of Reps. So whatever that becomes viral now is being played by the government. And these people, these leaders of ours are copying the West. The West is also playing a script for Africans, especially Nigeria. Look at the agitation we are having in Nigeria today. It is scripted by the West. In other words, some years ago, the West said that Nigeria was going to divide so time. So they gave a time frame. I don't know whether it's 2020 or 2014, something around that time. They were playing a script. That is why they influence political leaders in Africa. Those that refuse to be influenced are being slammed sanctions. If you are part of ECOWAS and African Union, you are playing a script by the West. And these are leaders. They have learned that politics from the West. Some of them are accused of being CIA agents for UK, United Nations, United States, most of our leaders. That is why development is far from Africa if we continue with this crop of politicians, this set, 1999 set of politicians. If we continue with this set of politicians, we are going nowhere. That is why we want to restructure. One of the main reasons why we need to restructure Nigeria is because we don't want to continue playing the script that the West is playing for us. The West sponsors banditry, terrorism activities in the North. One upon a time, during these mining activities, even amongst the Boko Haram, you see some white men. There are reports that have alleged that the West is part of those that are sponsoring these guys to cause insecurity, to cause instability in a particular state where they have natural resources that the West is coveting, that the West wants. Anywhere you see natural resources, you see the politics that is being played here is that they cause unnecessary chaos so that they can tap from that resources. The last time I did a broadcast, I said Anambra has gas. The 5 southeast states has gas. So it is very important for insecurity to continue so that these guys can find a way to utilize this gas. When we are saying all these things, some people think we are mad or we are crazy. When Al Mustafa went to Brekete family and made a revolution, that the reasons why there will be always, there is still banditry, insecurity in the North is because of the natural resources there, and the West are interested. The West are looting the natural resources and they are sponsoring these bandits. That is why it will be, you see somebody say that they are going to conquer who? Conquer who? It will continue because of that natural resources. We are all playing a script. Let's come back to Nigeria. We are playing a script of the Tinubu administration. Now, what I've discovered, dim the popularity of Peter Obi and give it to Sowore. If Sowore were to be an Igbo man, if Sowore were to be an Igbo man, he would not be moving around doing all this thing he's doing. Of course, he has been doing it since his youth days. He did it with it during Abiola. He was so active. Unilag was active. He has been a man of the people. But you see, politics, they can see a potential in somebody and use that person for their own aim. They know that Peter Obi became popular during the last election. They want to reduce his popularity. Like I said, when you replace the nationality of Sowore with that of an Igbo man, he will not even step foot in Nigeria. In fact, he will not be allowed to move out of Nigeria. The media terrorists will be used to attack him. He will not be allowed to go and release a Pidon or Isaac Bristol. All this rescue mission is doing is just to gain popularity for him and reduce that of P2B, because people were expecting P2B to be that macho man, that savior, that after the elections that was lost, he should have organized people like Sowore and call for protests. Have you heard of controlled opposition? You see, I explained to somebody yesterday, and I told that person what this government is doing is that it is playing a script for Nigerians to watch. We are watching a television series, and who is the person that is writing the script? It is the government. Some of these guys are players. Some people are playing midfield. Some people are striking. Some people are at the defense. The most dangerous people you see are the ones playing midfield. They will criticize the government, but they still support the government. So you are endeared to them because they criticize the government, but no matter what the government does, they cannot say the government should resign. They cannot do away with the government. If the government fails, they will be advising, and some will be a little bit harsh on the government. But they will never vote against that government, even after 4 years of failure. They are part of the government. They are used to control the opposition. Yoruba Nation at the United Nations General Assembly, my brother, is a controlled script that we are playing. These guys are sponsored to destabilize Nigeria. These guys are sponsored to make sure Nigeria is not settled. They are using it to control the Fulani interest, the Fulani control of Nigeria. You see, the Fulani wants to align with the Muslim world so bad that they need to totally take over Nigeria, and the West don't want to look as if they are one-sided, so they are sponsoring all these groups here and there, everywhere. I'm telling you this for a fact. After this Isaac Bristol, after Very Dark Man, we are going to go on with the case. Nobody's going to ask what the government is doing. Nobody's going to point out the activities of the government. Nobody's going to look into the oil sector as they are lifting our petrol, as they are printing our currency, as they are doing this and that. Nobody's going to look at that, at the fact that this government has already failed with what they bought, the 21 billion, the billions of naira they spent on judges, the billions of naira they spent on the central bank, the failure of the central bank. Nobody's looking at all these things. Everybody's focused on Very Dark Man. After the elections, everybody focused on Very Dark Man. After Very Dark Man, the next script that will be played is Sowore. Sowore is the next script. October 1st. At the end of the day, these protests are not going to have head. It's just a controlled thing. I told you, I've been learning politics from this man called Tinubu. He's not like my mentor. You know, when some things happen, you try to get some things. How is this guy doing this thing? What is he doing? What is the system? I'm watching from afar. And I've come to this understanding that this government is playing controlled opposition. They will silence every genuine voice in whatever way. They know that Atiku is not the man of the people. They know P2B is the man of the people. So that's why many people online have dedicated their lives to just attacking Obi. Fuel was 200 naira. They were attacking Obi. Fuel became 400 naira. They continued attacking Obi. Fuel became 600 naira. If Obi responds or criticizes the government, they don't criticize the government for getting to the point whereby Nigerians are unable to buy fuel, or like the hardship is so much. They don't criticize the government on that. But it's Obi. Fuel got to 800 naira. Obi. Fuel got to 1,200 naira. Obi. And you know, Nigerians are gullible. Nigerians, you say that went to school, they didn't really go to school. They went to an excursion for 6 years, if it is secondary school, and they went to another excursion or something like that for 4 years in university, they don't use their mind. They don't think. And religion also is caging them. Religion also is limiting, and those that really have the understanding of how the country is being run are being used in that. You know, when you read the Animal Farm, the pigs elevated themselves to a different position. They said they were more equal than others. So in that hierarchy, those that are educated and learned are being shopped to play on the minds of the uneducated millions of Nigerians. If the government doesn't use tribal bigotry, they will use political differences. If they don't use that, they don't go to religion yet. They have not started using religion because that might not be a potent force. Because if they start using religion and somebody gets back at them at their own religion, they will not find it easy. So they don't use religion because they know they are mostly Muslims. So if they get to the extent of by abusing somebody's religion, abusing Christians, they are going to cut across because most Yorubas are Christians. So they look at ethnicity and party. That is where they focus on. And they are playing script for us. We are going to be here. The Tinubu government is going to play that script from now to the end of 4 years. Everything that we are going to be experiencing will be played by this government. So I'm saying, in other words, that whatever script Sowore is playing is by the government. You might not have any alliance with the government, but the government will allow you because they want you to be in that script. Imagine a Sowore walking free and not. We got to the airport, he was arrested and briefly was left. The role he played during Jonathan, the role he played with Sahara reporters and all the protests. He once worked with a Tinubu. So what do you expect? As we are saying, if we don't rise up as a people, enlighten ourselves to understand that we are in a society that is being controlled by a few people, using force, using religion, using ethnicity, we will still be where we are. They are trying to dim the popularity of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu using other forces. Other forces are being employed to dim the popularity of. When I'm saying these things, some people think that who is this small boy? Somebody was calling me IPOB boy. Who is this small boy saying all these things? I'm telling you what is happening. I'm telling you the fact of the matter. I told you that Tinubu's government cannot work with a genuine opposition. They don't like opposition at all. It is either they are the ones that control the opposition. They don't like opposition at all. They will fight the opposition spiritually, physically, psychologically. They want to be the ones that control the opposition. The same way he did in Lagos. He eliminated every form of opposition. He is not going to, if APC wants to capture Anambra State, this is the game he will play. I've told somebody, APC will not win Anambra State. Not because the president cannot capture Anambra State. It is because a Soludo will want to work for the APC. So they are doing what they want. They know that if they play that dirty game, it's going to be hard for them. It is going to be hard for them to galvanize the Southeast. In fact, if Anambra politicians are disappointed, their support for Biafra will be so stern, will be so much that the federal government might not be able to control the narrative, because the federal government wants to control the Biafran narrative. I am telling you, the federal government wants to control the Biafran narrative. That is why I started calling for, let us go back home and start developing our communities. Don't come and tell us that you are building a house, or you are doing your mother's burial, or you are doing your chieftaincy title. We don't need that in the Southeast now. No time for all these things. If you are an influential person, tell us the things that you have done for your community. How many vocational skills centers you have created your community, how effective it has been. How many people you have sent abroad on scholarship to go and learn a certain skill that can be applied in your community? How many people that you have put in school, you have paid their school fees? How many classrooms you have elevated? How many people you have sent to teachers' college, sponsored for free? How many people you have done that for? Not you come, you are now telling us December, here. No. You don't have anything. Let me even burst your bubble. The richest people as per individuals, the richest people are the Yoruba people as per individuals. But when it comes to a number in quantity, Igbos, they have many people that are well-to-do. But the richest are Yorubas, like it or not. So don't go and be flaunting your... There are some people that have these mansions, they are afraid to flaunt it for security purpose. So anybody I see flaunting mansion or anything on social media, I just see that person a kid. They're just trying to show off. Okay, you flaunt. What's the essence of that man? What is the economic viability of that mansion to that community? When you build an ICT center and young kids come there to acquire skills, especially tech skills, it is something much more than a mansion you have in your village. If you want to do a film now, and you take to most Igbo businessmen that are rich, they will not invest in your film because they all think about themselves, proud and profit. They are not useful to their society. It is all about show off. We must bury this thing about showing off. What are you showing off for? So Igbo should come together and think about the future of every Igbo young person. Think about the future. These guys are taking over the Nollywood industry because most Igbo men and companies would not want to sponsor an Igbo movie. They're all about profit, selfish, and brag. No. This script that is being played by the Tinubu'S government, we should sit down and watch that the players would not necessarily be people that will stand for Nigerians. Everybody is now saying Sowore, up Sowore. When Festus Kayamo did the same thing, when Sega did the same thing, one thing I noticed that these guys, they have not held any political position before. The reason why I still rate P2B above all of them is because he has become governor and he has been tried and tested before he says he won't become president. Sowore, if he has started as a chairman and as a commissioner or minister, then you will now understand what we are talking about. You think you are praising Sowore now that he's the president is better than P2B. It is a script that is being played when these people are giving what they are asking for, which will not be given by Tinubu. Tinubu knows that Sowore will not win election, will not get the support of Nigerians, but it could be useful to dim the popularity of P2B. Final. That is just what is going to happen. The Sowore will not win an election ordinarily. He doesn't have the spread. He doesn't have the connection to win an election. If you look at the party, he's almost the youth chairman, he's almost the treasurer, he's almost everything in that party. So he doesn't have that spread to win an election. It is P2B, surprisingly, that started having a spread to win an election. That's why they are working against him in any possible manner. Any possible manner. They were shocked during the last election. So we know the script that this government is playing, and we are carefully watching with Nigerians. We are watching. After Very Dark Man, we are going to get to the October protest. Probably after October protest, the government will just trigger one thing. There's no genuine opposition now. The Labour Party is almost in disarray because it is the plan of the government for all these things to happen. Look at what is happening to PDP. PDP, a weak factor. Nobody knows where to go. Look at Fubara. Fubara is thinking of going to a different party, APP. Because of what the APC wants to do. We want to put everybody, scatter everybody, and control the narrative. That is what is happening. So any Yoruba nation you see at the United Nations General Assembly, just know that it's the rules. The rules. All of a sudden, Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho, you are fighting for the same cause. Sunday Igboho is free, Nnamdi Kanu is not free. It's the rules. The Yorubas don't want a Yoruba nation. They want a nation in Nigeria as regionalism. But when you say balkanization, don't even go there. They don't want it at all. It is not part of the design. It's not part of the design. So anything is just foreign sponsored. There are some groups that has been sponsored, some IPOB groups that has been sponsored by the West to destabilize everything, because they don't want Africa to be up. They don't want Biafra to come into play. Like I said, Biafra is the only thing that will elevate. It is the African spirit that will break out of the chains that Africa has been put for many years, these colonial chains. Somebody said something that the Western interests are against this agitation. So there's no need. No, there's a need to keep on pushing. Even though there are some people in that agitation that is being sponsored by the West to destabilize that agitation, we know them, we are watching them. They are IPOB. They are being sponsored to destroy the agitation. By their fruits you shall know them. We know. Both the script that the West is playing and the script that Nigerian government is playing, they will all fail. Like the Israeli leader. Let's learn how to be like the Israeli leader. Even though many people protested and left the General Assembly, they left it as in form of protest. He said what he said, and what he said was heard by those that left. The whole world heard what he said. If Iran dares attack us, we have the capacity to attack Iran. Our missile can go anywhere in Iran. After what they did to Hezbollah, they killed almost every terrorist. All the world were shouting, hey, hey, hey. They made sure that Hamas does not have any ability to strike again in Israel. Focused leader, irrespective of what people are saying, he was focused. And he said what he said. And those that left, Mumu, that left, they heard him clearly in their bedrooms, wherever they are, they heard him. A focused man. Let's be focused on what we are moving. At the end of the day, if you are playing games, when you are moving, as you are moving, you get weapons. This thing is achievable. Biafra is achievable. If not in our lifetime, it's going to be achievable one day.